Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon once again. We are about 8 minutes into time. This is the Growth Conversations, and my name is Kwame Brimpong. The goal of this Growth Conversations, this live stream every Tuesday, is to bring to you business people, small business owners, and entrepreneurs, how they started their businesses. They will also share their stories with us, some challenges they've been through in their businesses, and how anyone out there who is managing a business or who is starting a business can also pick lessons from it and help you grow your business. So today we are fortunate to have a young man with us who is doing so well in his own business, and his name is Mr. Frederick. Is it Apia?
Hey Jay,
Sorry, Frederick Ajay. Yeah, so we have Frederick Ajay with us. He is the CEO of MattBlac CA. If I didn't pronounce it well, as you introduce yourself, you can pronounce it better for us to understand. So, guys, it's great having you this afternoon. We know it's lunchtime, so we wouldn't take too much of your time. We try and see how best we could finish this conversation in within an hour. Okay, so if you're also joining us right now, you can comment anything that you have on your mind. If you have any question too, you can ask us. If you have any lessons in your business, anything you've discovered that you think will be beneficial to any other person who wants to start their business or is running their own business, you can share it with us. We are here to learn. We are here to help each other grow. There's so much we have to learn from each other. Someone's challenges may pose solutions to what similar challenges you're going through right now. So probably you're going through a challenge that someone had encountered it some time ago and was able to overcome that challenge. So it's great to share our knowledge with each other. It's good to share our experiences, and it's great to share the insights that we have. So without wasting too much time, we will just go straight into our conversations. And Mr. Frederick Ajay, CEO of MattBlack CA, welcome to Growth Conversations.
thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yes. So, Fred, tell us a bit about yourself. What is your
Mm.
background? Yeah, we would like to know a bit more about you. Who is Frederick Ajay?
Okay, so Frederick J. I'm I'm actually the CEO of Matt Black Creative Agency. Yeah, hence the name CA. So it's a Matt Black Creative
Oh,
Agency.
okay. Yeah.
Yes, that's the short form. And
Okay, great.
so personally, I am a graduate from KNUST. I studied communication design I mean, some years ago, and I think that's basically it.
Okay.
I happen to be a, so I started for I happen to be a, so I'm a jack of all trades, a lot of trades actually, not all trades. I'm a graphic designer.
Okay.
Yeah, so I started as a graphic designer, and I did a little bit of photography, and then now I'm mainly into videography. So hence the name Creative
Wow.
Agency because we happen to do everything anything that has to do with creatives. Yeah, that's basically it.
Whoa, that's great. That's great. So, if you say creative agency, you mentioned you're a videographer, a full-time videographer, creative agency. Can you shed more light on what your creative agency does? As you intimated that the CA stands for creative agency, so Matt Black Creative Agency. So, what do
Yeah.
you really do if someone wants to understand what you do? We know you're a creative agency, but what does it go into your line of business? What's the nature of your
So
business?
so um as a creative agency,
Yes.
we do a lot of things. A lot of things. We don't just limit ourselves to like a traditional photography studio or a traditional videography business. But as a creative agency, we take care of a lot of things. So we do I mean branding, so graphic design work. We do a lot of advertising, brand strategy, We do when it comes to photography, we do photography as well, portraits, um, landscape. Like I mean, any type of photography. And when it comes to videography as well, we do documentaries, events. So it's just a very big umbrella that encompasses everything that has to do with creativity. Yeah,
Okay.
that's basically the whole idea about the creative agency.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So, do you have any socials that you would want to share with people, even as we move deeper into our conversations? Or is there any website, or can you show us where your office is, or anything of the sort? Because sorry, normally we wish to see, let's say, some of your work so that we have a bit of visual impression, you understand, when we are having
Mhm.
these conversations. And as you share your story, the challenges, people can easily relate with those kind of
Mm.
challenges with respect to your line of work. So if you have any social media handles or anything, you can share with us.
Right. So let me give you a little bit of a background story. Um,
Okay,
so
yes.
so we started as we started the brand name used to be Berema Concepts.
Yes.
Stemming from
I
my
remember very
name.
much. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So stemming from my name, I'm Chum Berema. So Frederick Chumeje, and so Chum Berema. And so for you mean where I come from, every Chum is Berema. So Berema is the name I stuck with. So Chum
Yeah.
Berema and Beriak Berema Concepts that was doing basically graphic design and everything. And then we moved into Berema Shot It. That happens so Berema Shot It is the name that I had been using for so long. For so
Okay.
long.
Yeah.
That was before we morphed into a creative agency that encompasses everything. So Very Much Shorties was basically doing a lot of photography and videography works. Right. So it was just the latter part of last year that we had this vision
Mhm.
of bringing together all the talents and all the creatives around and putting together my team to come up with a creative agency. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get it.
Um,
Yes.
So the long and short of it all is, so as it stands now, MattBlac Creative Agency fortunately has done a lot of projects, but
Okay.
um, the what I would say, I don't want to say a downside, is a lot of these projects that we've worked on have NDAs attached to them. So by NDAs, I
Okay. Yeah.
mean not disclosure. So I don't have the
Yes.
privilege to share such projects.
Okay.
So there are some of them I was able to work my way into getting reels out of it.
Okay.
So we have reels that are on our Instagram page. That's Matt Black Creative Agency. You have a few reels there
Yeah.
that shows the work that we did. But for the work itself, I don't have the clearance to post it out there. So
Oh, I
these
I
works
mean, yeah,
are
I
on the
understand.
client's socials. Yes. So I mean, so Matt Black Creative Agency, as an agency, doesn't have much social media work. I mean, social
Okay.
media posts. But when it comes to very much short it, there's a lot of events that are on the very much short it platforms, both Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, we do mostly those. Yes, yes. And
Yeah,
so
yeah, sorry.
so for and one thing that is worth mentioning is, as a creative agency, we are trying. We want to spread our wings as far as we can. So
Mm-hmm.
we've taken on a lot of projects in a lot of spaces and a lot of industries that are, should I say, unconventional. So we have we've done a couple of live recordings, live music recordings. As it
Yeah.
stands now, we've done about we have about three out there live productions that were done at the beginning of this year. We are working on a few more, which will be out very soon, probably at the end of this month or early next month. So we have a lot of works under our belt, but for social media, we don't really posted a lot of them. Which I think on the mention of this, I have to take a look at that. Take a look at that too.
Yes, yes, you really have to because you know, personally, I believe that. Well, I don't understand until you try to explain to us how you get market. Okay, and we all understand that the world is moving digital. So,
Right.
if, for instance, you might not know who will chance upon this video or this stream, who may need your services. So, if it is too difficult for people to reach you, unless you would have to probably shed some more light on how, let's say, you reach out to your target audience. So you can tell us the nature of your market and how you reach your market. Definitely not actually telling us your trade secrets, obviously. But for instance, someone, you may have a wide network of event organizers, or you have institutions that you work with, or like most lawyers, law firms do not advertise, but they always have jobs to do.
Yeah, let's have
You
work.
understand?
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. So you may have a unique way of reaching your audience, but if you still have an element of the normal way of doing business, then I think that you should have a look at it. Probably you could also share, if you don't, the website too, so that people can from time to time read about you. Not really your um, uh, private works, but general
Okay.
information about you and the work you do. Yes. So you can tell us about the nature of your market, okay, whilst probably adding to it how you reach your target audience. Because a creative agency, and from my understanding from what you've just said, is more like engaging people, people reaching out to you directly to including videos, let's say, being it music, events, and all that. You understand? So,
Okay.
can you tell us a bit about your industry or your market? Because we are here to inspire other people too. So, someone who might be fed the idea of entering such an industry, what is the nature? What can you tell us about the nature of your industry or your market?
Okay. So, I mean, I've been in this industry for not to roughly roughly 6 years. I've been doing this for about
Wow.
6 years, right? So,
Wow.
one thing that I realized works for me is a lot of
Hmm.
referrals. You see,
Okay.
so because we put in a lot of work, so basically because we put in a lot of work, we built that client base where people recommend us because of how much work we put in it, how much work we put into what we do. So we get a lot
Yeah.
of referrals. We get a lot of referrals, and um, I mean, one way or the other, we are always busy doing something. One way or
I
the other,
get
we
it.
are we are
I now
always
get
busy
it.
doing.
Yeah.
Yes, we get a lot of referrals. Um, we have, I mean, people, and I'll say the only secret I would be able to mention is just be a good person. You
Mm-hmm.
see, I believe, I believe that by virtue of sometimes how kind your heart is, or how well you relate with people, they tend to keep referring you.
Yeah.
Oh, you want this done? Oh, there's this guy. He's very good at what he does, and they refer you, and that person also refers you to somebody else, and that person keeps
Yeah.
referring. So it's just like a chain. It's a chain
Yes.
of referrals that it keeps putting us out there. Personally, I've also worked on quite a number of projects that also came from social media. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
downplaying the power of social media. Social media really does a good job. Um, we get a couple of referrals, and by virtue of doing a clean job, high quality work, and because your logo is on it, we have people looking and googling your name online, and then getting in touch by virtue of conversation one way or the other. They hit you up, and then and then you're good to go. Yes. Yes. So it's just be a good person, put out your best every time. No matter how small the job is, you
Mm-hmm.
give it your absolute best, and make sure that you're putting a smile either you're putting a smile on the client's face, or you're putting a smile on the person who is going to view the work later on's face. That should be your goal. You're
Yeah.
putting a smile on somebody's face regardless,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's just a picture. You're making sure that the client is going to take a look at the picture every time and smile. You get it. And that has
Yeah.
been my goal. Making sure that there's always a smile on somebody's face. And I think they're good to go. Yeah.
Yeah. That's great, Fred. So, tell us, what was the turning point? What really inspired you to take the leap to start your own business? Different from after the university, going around to search for jobs and all that. Even if you did some jobs before starting your own business, or if you never did, you went straight ahead to start your own business like myself. Okay, really inspired you? At what point? What was the turning point for you?
Okay. So um, I believe in this. I believe in. I'm a firm believer in God. I'm a stout. I wouldn't say I'm a member of Royal
Oh,
Chapel.
say it however you want to say it. We are cool.
I'm a member of Royal Chapel, and
Okay.
my Apostle General is my father, and I I believe in I believe in God so much, and I believe in His ways.
Mm-hmm.
So my story starts from way back, where at a point in my life, not to go into so much detail, I literally lost everything. We literally
Oh.
lost everything, and so we had to build everything back up. And within that period, God found a way to navigate my path, to meet some amazing people. I met some amazing people down the way. I got a chance to go to the university, and in my university days, I mean, I started being as a graphic designer before I went to the university, right?
Mm-hmm.
I started as a graphic designer before going to the university, and
Oh, okay.
so graphic design for me was just a means of survival. I had to
Yeah.
survive some way, somehow.
Yeah.
I had to eat.
Yeah.
I had to pay for hostel fees.
Was a
I had
skill
to,
you could easily fall on to use.
right. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Then I discovered photography. I mean, I have a friend, an amazing friend. His name is Samuel Home. He's a graphic. Samuel Home is Samuel Home. He's a graphic designer. Praise Gallery. He introduced me into photography. He put a camera first into my hands, and it's been up, 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 up. And
Shout out to
so,
someone out there. Yes. He's done a
yeah,
great
Praise
job.
Gallery. Yes. So he
Yeah.
put a camera in my hands for the first time, and it's been up, up from there. I discovered, so it was graphic design, photography. I realized I was good at it. So why not start it as a full-time business? So I added
Yeah.
it to the graphic designer. I added to the graphic design. We took it from there, up, up, up. I discovered videography. I realized how much I loved telling stories. I love telling
Mm-hmm.
stories. When
Mm-hmm.
when I get a chance to tell somebody's story, it gives me so much joy. And anytime I'm editing, when I'm by the editing desk, I just relive. Those who know me, they know I have a very photographic memory. So I just relive the moments. I keep reliving the moments, even as I'm editing. So I just fell in love with it. And then
Yeah.
it's like people say, it's good to make a business out of something you love. So a hobby became a business. And from there, we just took it from there. Yeah. Yeah.
Yo,
That's basically.
that's great to share because what I've picked from what you're saying, and is a very true thing when you study most of these successful businessmen out there, business leaders out there. You see, like this popular advice that Steve Jobs gave, that love what you do and do what you love. Okay, so if you don't love what you do, try and cultivate the love for what you do. And if you want to do
Yeah.
something, make sure it is something you love already. Both ways, I always say, and at times too, I try to juxtapose it with passion. Okay, because it is what will keep you going when the tough times come. I always keep saying it because the tough times will come. If you don't love what you're doing, if you don't appreciate what you're doing, when things get tough, you will give up straight away.
Yes.
It's straight like that. Yes, and another thing too is that you just mentioned you were already doing graphic designing before you even went to the university. So you had a skill of graphic designing, then later you added up, you topped up with a skill of photography and
Yeah.
video, whatever. It also seems to suggest or advise that anytime, okay, so Asari commented with an emoji. I can't really understand this emoji. Those who are okay, more like high five or something. Yes. So you also the from what you've said and from what we are learning, it seems obvious that if you really want to be successful in any field, okay, or if you want to be fulfilled in this life, you need to begin by understanding yourself, getting to know what you are good at and not what you are not good at, taking stock of your weaknesses, a complete SWOT analysis. I always say that use what you have to get what you want. That is where you start. But
Basic.
you need to understand what you have. So in your instance, you started with what you had, which was the graphic designing. So anytime times got tough, you use the graphic designing to Charlie, make some ends meet and all that. Then you upgraded and upgraded and upgraded. So it's a great lesson you've shared there. It's a great insight you've shared there. That's wonderful. So let's go straight into your business. How was it when you started? It doesn't matter at which point because you've explained that you started from Berima, um,
Remember
Berima concept,
concepts.
Berima concept. Then you moved to Berima shot it. Then now we have MattBlac Creative Agency.
Yeah.
So, what are some of the challenges that you faced in the beginning of your business? Everyone faces challenges, okay, and
Right.
it's a key purpose of this whole conversation. A lot of people are going through challenges. Almost everyone. Challenges are a constant, especially in business. So, what are some of the challenges you faced in the early stages of your business, and how did you deal with these challenges? How did you overcome these challenges?
Okay, so I would say, wow, this is big. There's been so much. There's been so many challenges. I'm trying
Yeah.
to. Okay, so let me pull one out. When we started, it was challenges with logistics and money,
Okay.
especially money. So when we started, it was
Mm-hmm.
it was basically a means to live. You get it, a means to continue living. We started as a design firm. When we started, we didn't have a laptop, so I had to gather conjure money from somewhere. I remember my first laptop I bought. It was so heavy. It was so heavy. That was
Yeah.
my first year in uni. It was so heavy, and so that was it was around that same time with that same laptop I started doing videography. And I remember
Mm-hmm.
there were times where if I had to render a video for a client,
Mm-hmm.
maybe like a 2 minutes or a 30 minutes, if it's a 30 minutes video, we have to make sure that the laptop is set up and this laptop is not going anywhere for about 48 hours. And you plug it on power. It was plug and
Wow.
play. You plug it on power, and then you start rendering. As soon as you start rendering, you're not touching anything because anything can just disrupt the render. And oh man, memories. And
Okay, so it was
so
like, what was it being powered directly with the AC, or just that anything could distort the design, anything? or just
No,
because it wasn't really a it was a desktop in a open.
yes, yes, it was a
Yeah,
desktop
I
in a
get it.
laptop shell.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
it
get
was
it.
a
I
desktop in
get
a
it.
laptop
Yeah.
shell. And
Yeah.
so, like, if you touch anything, maybe the power just goes off. Anything can
Ah,
happen. So you have to make
ah,
sure that it's in a very good position and ready to go. And we moved
yeah.
on. We were able to gather some funds, get a better laptop, and then I think my first gimbal. I bought
Mm-hmm.
my first gimbal. I don't know for those who don't know what a gimbal is. It's more like a
Yeah.
stabilizer. People call it a stabilizer to hold the camera for so that it stabilizes your shots. My first
Yes.
gimbal came to Ghana. I bought it from. I was in Kumasi then. I was in KNST. I was in Kumasi then. The gimbal came without batteries. The gimbal came to Ghana without batteries. I had to wait for an extra 2 months or so for the batteries to arrive. And so, I mean, it kept building. And so far, it's been logistics. And, because our system doesn't, because we don't have access to these shipping agencies. And if you buy them and you ship them to Ghana, the price
Mm-hmm.
on shipment is more expensive than the thing you bought.
The price of the item itself. Yes.
The item is the present on the shipment,
The
bringing it to
shipping
Ghana
is
is
more
more
than the
expensive.
price of the item. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and because of that, when if you get to buy that gear in Ghana, it's very very expensive. So I
Yeah.
mean, we've navigated all those terrains, and by God's grace, we are where we are today. So that's one of the challenges. Another challenge that we've gone through is the human resource. I don't know if I put
Mm-hmm.
it right. Getting the
Your
right people to
workers.
work with,
I
getting
mean,
the
your
right people
workers,
to
your
work.
employees. Yeah. Your team. Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes. It's been a roller coaster journey from the beginning to now. Now, by God's grace, we are able to boast of a staff of about six that we are
Mm-hmm.
working with, who are on. Some of them are on full time. Some of them are on based on projects. It's been a good one. We've had people that came on board who came on board just, I mean, for just a period. They came, uh, some of them, they had their own motives why they came
Yeah.
on board. Some of them, they've heard of MattBlac, and they're like, oh, this guy is doing a good job. Let's go and try. And then when they come in, they realize, oh, it's not,
Uh-huh.
it's not, it's not all rosy.
Yeah.
People see all the glam,
They see
but
the
they don't know.
brand. Yeah.
Yes, people see the glam. They don't know how much work goes into it. When they
Goes into
get to
it.
know how much work goes into it, they run away. You get it. People realize that there's basically little holidays in this
Mm-hmm.
in this film. Little holidays. So I mean we've had to navigate all these terrains, and by God's grace we are where we are. I mean that's basically
Okay.
some of the challenges that we've had to go with. Yes.
But typically, you don't have a challenge with getting customers, getting because you stated that you have a lot of referrals. So that's how come you don't even force or push yourselves to market. So getting customers is not a challenge, or getting sales is not a challenge.
But I
Am I
mean
right?
I can say by God's grace, by
Yeah.
God's grace. We've not really had a point where we can say that, I mean, at this point where we didn't have any clients, like there was nobody, by
Mhm.
God's grace, at every point in time, there's something going on somewhere. And maybe I would say it's because of how diverse our portfolio is, how diverse,
Okay.
how diverse, and how big our umbrella is. So at every point, we are working on a project in one of these fields.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So for us,
Yes.
for us as a brand, we've not really had a problem with with customers. I mean, if anything, scaling up and looking for more clients to add up to what we have. Yes, by God's grace,
So let me
we
ask, how do you keep your workers, your team motivated? Okay, how do you keep them energized to keep working to achieve your goals? Like, how is working with MattBlac like? Is there anything you do to keep your team motivated or not, so that other people can also pick up from that?
right.
Is there anything that you would want to share with us? Yeah.
So for me to keep my team motivated, I mean, I think these are I use maybe to somebody I've not done a good job so far, but to some
Mm-hmm.
people are people who actually appreciate the little that we either I or we do. So we try to make
Yeah.
sure that our team, everybody in our team, is as comfortable as possible. As
Okay.
comfortable. There are times that we get difficult clients, and I personally try to absorb a lot of the pressure coming from the client, so that it doesn't
Okay.
stem to the people that I work with. I try to, as much as possible, not make them feel like um, not make them feel like they are overworking themselves. I would like
Mm-hmm.
to take I try to absorb a lot of that pressure, make my team as comfortable as possible. Try to make them feel very comfortable whilst working. It's a creative space. Peace of mind is everything.
Yeah.
Peace of mind is everything. So we try to make sure they are comfortable as possible. Little things like let me give you this. Yeah, I mean yesterday like this there was a mini party or a sit down chat at the studio here
Okay.
where the some of my I mean the employees and the team, they just came around. I just called everybody home. We came around. Little things. We all sat down in the car. We drove to the market. We went to do shopping, and we're like, the ladies in the team should take a back seat. We the men are coming to show them how it's done in the kitchen.
Yes.
So
Yes.
so they sat behind, as much as we know, we the men, we knew we couldn't cook, we couldn't put together a lot of things. I mean, just I try to
The
foster
fun.
a
Yeah.
family mentality that it's not just you. Yeah, there are times where
Yeah.
it's so much pressure, we are working, but when there's little or not more pressure, we try to retreat and have fun. It's a
Yeah.
creative space. Try and have fun. Try and enjoy yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that difficult. I mean, then and people appreciate the little things. It's not every time that you have to buy a car for an employee. There's an advice to somebody. It's not every time that you have to buy a car for an employee for them to know that you appreciate them. Sometimes just checking up on them. Oh, is
Yeah.
everything okay? Is everything okay? Are you fine? Like how is your family? Is everybody okay? Oh, there was one time, I mean, I think just last week, one of my guys came to me, was like, my dad, I need to take my dad to the hospital. My dad is not well. I was like, okay, take the time off. You get it. So I mean, for fellow creatives and fellow CEOs, I feel like sometimes you just have to tap into that inner human part of you. You're not always focused on my clients, my clients, my clients, my clients. Sometimes you have to focus on the people you work with. Let them also feel comfortable. Let them also feel
Yeah.
like you care about them. And that's basically how I've been able to maintain some of the people I work with. Yes.
That's great. Okay, so what has been the most difficult decision you've had to take as an entrepreneur in since you started your own business, working for yourself, being a CEO of your own business, a small business owner, a leader of a business like that? Has there been any sort of decision that was very, very hard to make, and you took that decision? And how did that decision you took affect the future of your business? Like
Wow.
affect the growth of your business? Because I know that
Wow.
at one point in time or the other, entrepreneurs will be forced to make certain kinds of decisions. So, if you've had any tough decision, what has been the toughest decision you've had to take, and how did it impact the growth of your business?
Wow. So so I say a tough decision is it might be relative. I mean, depend
Okay,
on
yeah, sure.
anybody. Yeah. So I mean, for me, off the top of my head, one of the toughest decisions I had to make was a
Mm-hmm.
conscious effort to to bring everything I've learned and move out of my comfort zone. So I mean, by moving out of my comfort zone, we used to be very much at it.
Mm-hmm.
By very much at it, it was just basically photography and videography. But one of the toughest decisions was to say that moving from we're comfortable with what we had, very comfortable. We're getting our clients, we're doing a lot of, but to open up and say, okay, I'm comfortable here. Let me take on the creative agency bit. Let me expand. Let's expand. Let's move out of our
Yeah.
comfort zone. You know, this decision doesn't just come with um like as a mere a decision. Like I said,
Yeah.
it's a very relative um, question.
And it comes with a lot of risk
Somebody will say,
too.
yes, it comes with a lot of risk because
Yeah.
at the point you have to let go of some of your clients. You know,
Mm-hmm.
some clients there are some clients that you have to let go of. Now you have to start looking at opening your umbrella and then looking out for new clients.
Mm-hmm.
You get it. There are some jobs that some time ago I wouldn't take. Now you have to start taking those kind of jobs.
Yeah.
You get it. There are some jobs that at first when they come you're like, oh, let me just do this. Now because of how big you are, you can't continue taking some kinds of jobs. You see,
Yes.
so those that is one of the decisions that were very and I am a very um I'm a very emotional person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a very emotional person. So I mean having to let go, sometimes letting go is very difficult for me as a person. Letting go is one of the we one of the one of the very difficult decisions we had to make getting to the latter part of last year was to let go of one of our employees. You know, um, I mean, this employee was very good, was supporting, was I mean, as much as I can, I build a family everywhere I go.
Mm-hmm.
You see, so this employee was not just an employee, he was more like family. But we had
Yeah.
to do an analysis and realize that, hey, this decision is going to cost the agency. You understand? And there were some standards that we had to still stand by. So it got to a point where letting go was difficult, but we had to do it. And um, by taking this decision, were able to navigate some waters. I mean, I learned a lot within that period, which
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure has brought us. I mean, this far. Now we have a number of we have about 6 employees on the team, and I mean, so there are a lot of things I learned during that period. That I mean, I won't repeat now. A lot of things that I'm going to do better
Yeah.
within that yes with that experience that I had at that time. Yes, that's basically it.
Yeah. So, Fred, there's this common notion amongst people, some people that, okay, rather than family and friends, most of the time do not really help business. And if you employ family and friends, your business is bound to fail. This is what some people think. So they will rather than employ anyone who is not a family member. I know the story of Captain retired Kofi Amoabeng, Prince Kofi Amoabeng of UT, who
Okay.
shared the story of working with some of the family members, how it went, and how he was able to really navigate and make sure that he stayed within what he was supposed to achieve for the organization without family and friends becoming a liability in his business. You understand? So, what is your take on this one too? Would you rather employ a family member than an outsider? Or are there any special metrics you look out for? Whatever be the case, all things being equal, would you choose to work with a family member over a non-family member? Do you have any advice on this?
Right. So for me, um, I wouldn't say I don't have much experience with
Mm-hmm.
family with a family member. I have not really come to a place where I've had to work with a family. I mean, yes, there's
A
been
family member
times
or
where
a friend? So not just family members, but
a
friends
friend.
too. Yeah,
Okay,
friends and
so
family.
family and friends. The truth is, working with family and friends is not easy.
Why
It's
isn't it
actually
easy?
very not easy. It's not easy because one, sometimes they just want you to they press your buttons and try to they press your buttons and try
Yeah.
to manage how you react as well. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So they are doing something which they know is wrong, but
Yes. But I
it is
want
at
to
the
just
same way,
push you to your limits. Yeah.
and also try and control how you react within that limits, within those limits. I
Yeah.
don't know if you get what I'm
Yeah, I
saying.
get you. Yes, I
You
get
are,
you. Yes.
yes,
So they'll really
it's
judge
very
you. They'll judge your reaction to that particular situation
saying that
too.
in there, like, I
No,
did
what
some
they
this
need.
that I did, and you have this thing
Yeah.
happened. I'm like, you see, sometimes what people don't understand is some
Mm-hmm.
people have to put in a lot of work to get what they want.
Yeah.
You get it. So
Mm-hmm.
if for somebody to trust you with their business, trust you with their
Mm-hmm.
brand, it's we when we give you work, we need you to put in your best. If you don't do it and we are reacting, don't complain about the way we react.
Yeah.
You get my point. So let me
Mm-hmm.
give you this. This is just so there's, I have this um, cousin who happens to be in the creative space also, but he mostly does a lot of print work. I was linking this. I got a job. My hands were
Mm-hmm.
tied to a lot of things. I was like, oh, but I have this cousin. Let me just link him with the client. Hey, this my cousin. We won't even pick up calls from the clients. So then everything. So because I recommended him to
Everything
the
comes
client,
back to you.
everything
Yes.
comes back to me. I'm like, I could have just done it.
Mm-hmm.
If this is how you are going to react, I could have just done it. And then now, I mean, I won't go that route again. And for employing family and friends, I know of certain creatives, and not to mention any names.
Mm-hmm.
For them, employing employing or working with their brother
Mm-hmm.
or working with their cousin was one of the best decisions that they've made.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get my point. For them,
Yeah.
for some of them, you see, I think let's not let's not make it
Generalize the whole thing.
a
Yeah.
general rule that if you work with family and friends, it's going to go bad. Because I know
Mm-hmm.
people who working with their brothers was one of the best decisions they made. And they actually told me this because
Yeah.
I mean I have a lot of I make a lot of conversations, and
Mm-hmm.
some of them telling me that Charlie, my brother, Charlie, if I leave, if after the event, my brother makes sure that everything is intact before we
Yeah.
leave, especially in terms of gear and um, 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 in terms of gear, in terms of the client's relations. Because you see, like I was saying, you look at the person you are bringing on board. Don't ignore. It's just like any relationship. Don't ignore the red flags.
Yeah.
You know this person. Somebody has said the person that some families are entitled. Yeah, this person has been entitled all these years. It's not your business that the person is coming
Yeah,
to.
going to make the person entitled. Yeah,
You understand? The person is
yeah.
don't ignore the red flags. You understand? It's
You see,
sometimes you look at
yeah.
it as you look at it. I feel like this conversation is denying a lot of people from helping their family members. You
Mm,
understand?
mm-hmm.
Look at whoever you are bringing on board. That is why, for a lot of companies, they have probation periods.
Yeah.
Don't just assume that because it's your family member, everything will go
They will
smooth.
have that sense of, yeah, entitlement,
Same
and they'll
way,
worry you.
same way you are going to take somebody who is not a family member. If the person will fuck you up, the person will do. I don't
Yes,
know if you get
there's
my
this. Yeah, I get your point. Let's just read these comments. Kia commented, most family and friends feel entitled. But when you are able to get those with the right mentality, it's really great. Just as you said,
exactly.
some people's secret to success was working with family. And I know from the biography of, there's a book about Elon Musk, okay? And one of the keys to his success is the support that he has from his family and his friends. Whenever people interview him and ask him what keeps him motivated, he will tell you he doesn't have any motivation, but he just knows that he needs to achieve this and he has to do whatever it takes to achieve it. But it is his friends and his family members and his kids, his children, that really give him that sense of life, that sense of
Mm,
living. So it is great. Some people are benefiting really, really well from
yeah,
family and friends,
yeah,
but others
yeah.
too, it was also the worst decision they made. So yes,
I think
Becca Wusu Kwating is also commented, I would choose not to mix business with family and friends. So everyone has their own experience, everyone has
mm,
their own notion. For
yeah,
me
yeah.
personally, what I think is that personally, there's a code that I live by when it comes to working with people. I value attitude over scale. Okay. So if
Mm,
the person
right.
is a family member and the attitude is great for business, is okay for me. For skill, you can always train. You can
You can
always
teach
upgrade the
anybody
person.
anything. Yes,
Yes, you can teach anybody, but if the attitude is bad, even if you are, if I've had workers who were great at what they were doing, they were splendid, okay, but the attitude was just bad, and they will just infest other. Anytime you bring new employees in, they'll like that sort of bad
everybody.
mentality.
Right.
Yes, but I
Yes.
feel that we should try and give family members the opportunity, okay, to
Mhm.
perform. Just as you said, you can put them on probation. It is the secret to how and why the Jewish community is so strong economically. Is because they try to, and every well-read person and every well-read person knows what I'm talking about. Is the strength of the Jewish community. So their finances, they have a circling economy. So a Jew person will employ another Jew. So you
Yes.
have this guy from Sam Altman from how do we call it, Chat GPT, like OpenAI. You have all the other Jewish guys, they help themselves. So I think it's great to work with family members, but we should also be really, really serious with the kind of attitude. So it doesn't matter for me if you are my mother or my father or my wife or my child and you have bad attitude, you are not disciplined enough for work, it's no. But if I realize, if I need someone to employ and I realize that, Charlie, sorry, but my son or let's say my mother would be great at this thing. Why give the money to an outsider whereas you can still circle the thing around you? So I think it's a great point that we need to take a look at seriously with this working with family and friends and stuff. Do you have anything more you want to add to this particular
Yeah.
issue?
And for me,
Yeah.
just to for me, I have come to a point where I know those to trust with what.
Mm,
I mean, not
great.
entirely. I'm still navigating my
Yeah.
I'm still navigating my path. I have friends that I have friends that um when I need, I know what to get from who, and I know
Yes.
those I can trust with what.
Yes.
If push
Yes.
comes to shove, I
That's a great
know
one.
I know which of my employees, if I have multiple events, as
Mm-hmm.
an example, if I have multiple
Yeah.
events, I would rather call a friend I trust
Mm-hmm.
or a family member I trust to come and be in charge of this project than leave it to somebody I know I can trust.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes.
So family, let's not just, I feel like this is just a means by which people use to I mean, generalization is not a good thing. You don't just take
Yeah.
family and friends is not good and just generalize it. Look at the person, give everybody a chance. Because I feel like myself, if somebody had not given me a chance, I wouldn't be where I am now.
Yeah. Sure.
If somebody had
Yes.
not given me a chance, I wouldn't be where I am now. You understand? So give people a chance. Let people know that, hey, you are on probation.
Mm-hmm.
This thing we are doing is not even if you are employed, you can leave.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And that's one thing I have learned. I learned the hard way from from my experience last year. Sometimes you have to try and separate emotions from business. Separate emotions from business.
For me, I think
Because
it's not just sometimes. Every time you need to separate. Business is business.
business is business. If
Yes.
I have a friend, I have a colleague, I have a
Uh-huh.
colleague. If if we go and work and he can't find a memory card, eh, nobody is going home.
Whoa.
Nobody is moving a car. After the
Wow.
project, we can't find the cover of one of the lenses.
Uh-huh.
No matter who you are not
No
going
one
home.
is going until he's found it.
We, and because
Wow.
we are at his project,
Uh-huh.
we are all because we are all employees at that moment. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't care. It doesn't matter whether you are above. You are nobody's above the law. If you've not found it, nobody's going home. You understand?
Wow.
And he's going to be hard until we find it. And afterwards, oh, so it has nothing to do with emotion. Oh, but this guy,
Yeah.
why is he doing
Yeah.
this? And your emotions your emotions are not going to buy the thing that is missing.
Yes. Yes.
Your emotions are not
Yes.
going to buy it. You understand? So you just separate emotions. Whatever has to be done, let it be done. Whatever has to be done, let it be done. That's basically it. Yes.
Okay, great. So okay, there are some new comments. Please, if you're just joining us, this is the Growth Conversations, and we have this wonderful session with Mr. Frederick Ajay or Chum Barima, okay, of MattBlac Creative Agency. We are having conversations about some challenges he faced in his business, how he dealt with them, certain insights about how he goes about his business, and we were just discussing the issue of working with family and friends. Okay, yes. So I have some two comments more here. Yes. So Becca is saying that you have a point there, but don't forget this. Don't forget, this is a mentality engraved in an African gene to be entitled to family business. So it starts with a renewal of our minds, mental
Yes.
emancipation, as Bob Marley said.
You're
Yes,
right.
I,
Yes.
I I think I agree with, yeah, I agree with Becca a bit. Ike is also saying entrepreneurs also need to ensure rules, do's and don'ts are clearly stated before employing family and friends. Yes, that's
Exactly. For
true.
them, for them, even if you have this mentality, of, I don't want to work with family and friends. For
Mm-hmm.
them, be hard on it, just so
Yes.
that you know that they know that you are not putting anything, you are not handing anything down to them on a silver platter.
Yeah, it's not a mere privilege you're giving them.
It's not a
Like,
mere privilege. You are not here
yes,
because you are my family member.
they are
I'm
not
just giving you a
entitled
chance. You are not
for it.
entitled to
Yes,
anything here. Yes,
yes, yes.
I think that's what people
Okay,
like.
yes. So now let's look at some mistakes you've made in your business and how it actually impacted your business. So if there are
Mm.
any mistakes you can recall, some critical mistakes, it can be just one or it can be two or whatever you feel you would want to share with us, we should understand that we're all human and no one is perfect. There is no absolute purity. I did physics. I have a physics background, so I understand that at every point in time there isn't any sort of purity, 100%. No, you just have, let's say, 99.9999% of something, and you have 0.000. So there is always that sort of blend. It's just an issue of grades, okay, and intensities. So have you made some mistakes in your business? What mistakes
Mm.
are these, and how did they impact your business?
I mean, for every business, I mean, if anybody tells you that it's been a roller coaster, it's been a smooth ride, it's a
Yeah.
lie. That one is a big lie. Very, very, very big lie. A lot of them, we've made a lot of mistakes. And we've learned. For me, they are not mistakes. They are learning curves.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's been a couple of them. Um, One of my greatest regrets is making time. Not
Mm-hmm.
making time. I got to a point in my life. I mean, in this business and in my life, I was just overworking. I was just carried away by. I mean, I'm a workaholic by nature. I love to work. When I'm not doing anything, I start getting anxiety. Hey, what am I missing? Am I leaving something unturned? I mean, maybe that's because I've been doing it for too long. It's
Yeah.
becoming part of me. Um, not prioritizing, not prioritizing is one of my biggest mistakes. Not making time for family and friends. There were times in my life where, looking back, if you would ask me, I would
Mm-hmm.
have done a lot of things differently.
Differently.
Yeah, I would have done a lot of things differently. I, I lost, I lost a lot of great relationships and friendships because of because of um, because I didn't make time. So I mean, advising people, try and make time for the things that are very important.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, try and make time. So now I try as much as possible to make time. I try. Now, I'm not saying I'm not perfect. Now, like I told you, like I mentioned yesterday, I have a lot on my plate right now. But because I had put it in my calendar that yesterday was going to be the day that we are going to meet as a team and have those discussions and plan and plot, we had to make time for it. And yesterday we did that. And I mean, it was a great time. I'm very sure if I call any of my employees, I'm sure they had fun, they enjoyed themselves,
Yeah.
and it was a great time. So one of my biggest mistakes was not making time for the things that mattered at a point in my life. You get it? Yes.
Wow.
I got carried away by work, and yes, that's very very important to me. And I mean, mistakes, a lot of mistakes. There are some clients, one of the mistakes, there are some clients, when you realize they are not worth keeping, just let them go.
Mm-hmm.
That's one advice I'll give.
Some clients, if you realize they are not worth keeping around, just let them
Just
go.
let just let them go. Because some clients are going to drain
They're
your
going to
blood.
mess you up.
They'll drain your water in your body, in your system. If they get your blood, they'll drink it. They are I mean, yeah, there are clients like that, and don't try to. I mean, please every client, but don't have boundaries and don't overstep them.
Mm.
Yes,
Have boundaries
have
and don't
boundaries and
overstep
don't
them.
overstep them. Have boundaries for clients. There are some clients, if they get you at 4 a.m., they will call you at 4 a.m. and be
Yeah,
demanding their work. I
very
mean,
true.
I'm not the do not disturb kind of person, because I believe
Mm-hmm.
in, I know there are emergencies. There are
Yeah.
emergencies that sometimes You have to.
You are a 24-hour person.
You see, I don't believe in putting your phone on DND, but
Yeah.
don't be calling people at 4 a.m. demanding for corrections, right? Don't be. So I mean, so set boundaries for clients and try not to overstep them. That's an
Okay.
advice.
Okay.
That's an advice I would give to anybody at any given time.
Wow.
And know the kind of clients you have. For every client, put every client in a category, and don't try to navigate yourself. Be intelligent about it,
Mm-hmm.
because yes, a client, there's this saying, a client is always right or something. A customer is always right.
Yeah.
Yes, which is not right, which is not true in every case, but
Mm-hmm.
be add some intelligence to it. I think I think apart from that, you are good to go.
Oh,
Yes, you are
okay,
good
that's
to go.
great. So, Nana Umposo, sorry if I didn't pronounce your name right, but Nana says mistakes add to experiences. A few poor
Mm,
choices made here and there, but learning from them is the most important.
right, very, very
And
important. Very important.
yeah, Gladys also says, okay, so making time also counts. Then Nana previously commented mindset, teachable attitude, then core competencies. The most important thing is to have a system that even the business owner adheres to. I
Right.
think he's speaking to the attitude, family member, workers
Attitude.
sort of thing. Yes. What he's saying is very true because, when you study God and the universe and how the universe works, you will
Mm.
understand that even God Himself respects the principles He put
The
forward.
principles that God, yes, yes,
Yes. So if you have an organization, the reason why God is because He built a strong system and He goes by the principles that
mm.
push the system. So every organization that you want to be successful to has to be, you see, there's so much. If we try to understand God and His universe and how He works, life will be quite comfortable for us. You understand? So I think what he's saying is true. Have a system, and even you, the business owner, you need to adhere to the
Yes,
system, even
yes.
when it goes against you. So I think,
Nobody is above the law. I mean, in my agency, I really really try to go by those rules. When
mm-hmm,
when 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 we have to do something, we make sure that we are all doing it, all hands on deck. We don't we
yeah,
don't leave it for we don't leave it for the juniors or
mm-hmm,
those who join us later to do it. We are all hands on deck. I am the all hands on deck kind of person.
yeah,
You get it, all hands on deck. Let's get this out of the way, and then we are done. You understand?
oh, yes.
Nobody's above the law. Yes.
Okay, so Fred, do you have a mentor or role model that guided you? If you did, how did they influence your journey? If not to, you can just tell us, oh, you tried everything, try and error gradually by yourself. But if you had any mentor or role model that guided you in all of this journey, do you
Mm,
have anyone like that that comes to
I
mind?
don't. I don't have a role model
Mm-hmm.
that's there are people that have role models on. I mean, like, yeah, let's say there are people who have mentors that they can
Mm-hmm.
just call. So I'm doing this. I need. What do you think I should do? You know,
Yeah,
but for me, I am privileged to have a lot of amazing people around me.
great.
Amazing people. There are people there. I have a friend who makes fun of the fact that Berman knows everybody. Berman knows everybody. For everywhere we go, somebody knows Berman. Yes. So
Yeah.
the people make fun. And for me, I have capitalized on that. And I know people that I call for what? When it comes to when I need an advice on
Mm-hmm.
when I need an advice
You
on
know who to
budgeting.
call. Yeah.
I know who to call. And as soon as
Yes.
and it's so much so that as soon as I call the person knows that I'm here for this.
Yes.
when
Yes.
when I need advice on business, there are times I just drive, I just call. I have a friend, I call him, Charlie, at the come house. Oh. and he knows that I'm just coming for a lecture, and
Yeah.
I just go and sit under his feet, and he just talk. I just listen to him, and by the time I know that by the time I leave, there's something
You
I'm bringing back home.
give me some
So
value.
I think it's good, it's great to surround yourself with great and amazing people. When you meet somebody and the person is better than you,
Mm-hmm.
accept that the person is better than you, and learn from the person. That is me. That is why I have a lot of friends, and that is why I have people I call forward. I mean, even today.
But Fred, let me, yeah. But there's something very important I would want you to address as you're speaking about this networking with people, getting to know people, because networking is great leverage. It's actually what TGN is about. We are in the
Mm,
preparatory stages. We'll get to a point where we will launch fully. It's basically to bring people together, young businessmen and professionals, so that
mm,
mutually we can help assist each other in growth. Okay, but there are people, naturally, it's quite difficult for them to make friends, to network. All right. Of course, you can't deny the fact that some people are naturally good at connecting with others. Some too are not
right.
naturally good, but it's a principle of all successful businesses or entrepreneurs. You need to
Mm,
network. We
very
understand that.
important.
But
Very important.
what advice will you give other business owners on how they can build their network? How should
Mm,
someone go about it?
right. So how to grow your network? One, I think you should make yourself available.
Mm.
It's a mindset. You see, it's a mindset. Um, Nobody's an island, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
You can say that you want to do this on your own. As much as I want to do this, I want to do this. Trust me, life gets better if you have people around you. Right? Life is easier. Life is way better. So it's a first start with the mindset. Know that there are people out there who are better than you,
Mm-hmm.
right? And have a mindset that okay, I'm going to make myself available. Make yourself available for people, and then when you need people, people will also make themselves available for you. I don't know if I've communicated this well enough. I mean, that's what has worked for me.
Yeah.
That's what has worked for me. I mean, maybe something else will work for somebody else, but for me, make yourself available. Have that mindset that okay. So this is the first phase. The first phase is to build, and because we are building, we need people. So when you go for events, you find somebody who is better than you. Click with the person. Take the person's contact. Be in touch with the person. Sometimes I don't know if you agree with me. Go and do awoshishe. Yes,
Oh
awoshishe
yeah,
is
yeah,
like
yeah, it is. It helps. Yes.
yes. I mean for those who don't know what awoshishe is somebody says self put. Go and put yourself in that person's space,
Yes.
right? Yes.
Yes.
Go just go and say pass by, say hi. If the
Mm-hmm.
person there are people who will shun you, there are people who will just look at you weird. Now, who is this guy? Yes, but go again. So far as you know the person has something that you need, or so far as you see the person do something better than you, or the person is doing something close to what you are doing, put yourself in that space. And one thing is you have to have that mindset that only you won't be able to satisfy, only you won't be able to handle all the clients in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So you are not in competition with anybody. It is
Yeah.
not a competition. This business is not a competition. That is why I don't know how true this is. I don't know how true this is. That is why at a point, was it Samsung or Google? Was it some? That's why Samsung takes some part of their software from Google.
Mm.
That is why
I,
Apple for I don't know which component, but I'm very sure that they take some of their components from from Samsung. I mean, I,
Oh yeah.
I, I used to
I,
be I used to be in that tech space for a while, and then now
Mhm.
I'm too busy, so I don't know. I'm able to give you what components are exactly. But at a point, somebody needs something from somebody. This is not a competition. You would think
Yeah.
they might make it feel like a competition out there, but it is not. When the CEOs meet, it is not a competition anyway.
Hmm. Hmm.
You understand? You will
Yeah.
if your time is up, and if your time is if it is your time, you get everything that is due you. So don't see anything as a competition. Put yourself out there, learn from people. Don't see people as competition. Let them be your friends. Create that rapport, that friendship, and then you're good to go.
I think the mistake most of us make is that we think that once someone else is in the same business, the same line of business as myself, we are enemies. You
No,
see, we have that limited mindset. We should cultivate the mindset of abundance. There's so much abundance in this world.
so
There's
much.
so much
There's so
abundance.
much.
Yes, there's
There's
so
so
much
much.
abundance.
Only you can't handle 5 clients in a week.
Hmm.
If God decides to give you all of that person's clients, you will die.
Yeah.
Like you can't handle it. There's no way you can handle it. I have colleagues, I have colleagues that are into the corporate space.
Yes.
They say they won't do any other event. I mean, for events, I'm talking in terms of events. They won't do wedding. Me, I mostly do a lot of weddings, a lot of corporate stuff. I have friends who say weddings are too stressful. Me, I won't do weddings, right? And
Yeah.
if God takes if let's say today I decide to start envying them, and God gives me their clients, how am I going to handle it?
Hmm.
The fact that you don't have it doesn't mean it will never come. It will come.
Yeah.
Don't see anybody as competition. As a matter of fact, let them rather be your friend so that when you are too busy, you'll be able to give them some of your jobs to do, and let them more appreciate you more. So it will get to a point where you need it. They will call you that Charlie, some job be there somewhere,
Yeah.
and I'm not available to do it. But when I look at it, you are the best person to do it. So take it and go and do it.
Yeah, very true,
You
very true.
understand?
Let me read
Especially
some.
especially people in your space,
Hmm.
especially people who do the same things. If you're a poultry farmer, that's
Yeah,
next door, that's next business owner on your side. Let him be your friend. So that if he sees a crow driving a crow flying from somewhere coming into the space, the person will alert you that
yes,
there's a crow
yeah,
coming to carry your chicks. I mean, it's
yeah,
just an analogy I'm making. I have a
yeah, yeah, yeah,
friend,
yeah. It makes sense. Yes.
I have a friend, I have a friend, I have a friend. He's he went to shoot a wedding, and they stole his camera at the reception. And we were just having it was a random call. I just called him out of a random conversation. I was like, oh, Charlie, Freddy, Charlie, I've been robbed. Though. I was like, oh, what happened? And then after he told me the story, he was like, Charlie, so we have to be cautious. Oh. So I didn't have to go through that
Yes.
to learn.
Yeah,
I don't know if you get it. I didn't
I
have to
get it.
go through that to learn that these days the people have gotten to know the value of our gear. So now they started involving us. I didn't have to go through it to learn. Somebody went through it. And because the person is a good person, the person offsetted or offloaded that lesson to me.
Yeah.
I don't know if you get my point.
And I get your point. Yes.
Yes,
It's very true. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I have friends who they just have to experience them like Charlie. The somebody will just call you, hey, I've got Charlie, these political parties, there's money in it to look for one and take and like is it Kimpaluta? Kimpaluta said, do you know how much taxes I've been paying that now I'm coming to chop some small money from them? Yeah, I'm coming to take it from me. No, no, you have been paying
Yeah.
taxes, please. If it is time to
Yes.
chop, let us chop now. Don't come and brand new with one political party and say that because
Yeah.
I'm having that, you won't come and give me from another party. No. I mean, all that I'm trying to say is the even the next door neighbor who is also in this same space with you is not a
Mm-hmm.
competition.
Yeah.
Is not a competition. Be a good
Yeah.
friend. be a good friend, have that great relationship to the extent that they will be able to recommend you to future projects. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yes, it's great. The conversation has been very insightful, I must say. But whatever it is, we should still be able to manage our time a bit. We've shot past the 1 hour, but I mean, it's still getting more interesting. So
Yeah,
we try and manage and see how best we could bring the whole conversation to a close very soon. But in the meantime, let me read some comments we have here. Um, Becca Owusu Kwarteng says setting boundaries. And she goes on to say people treat you how you are allowed to be treated. So boundaries are everything.
very
And be a
important.
principled person as well. Okay, that's great. It's good advice. Ikuya also says, yes, so ahosheshe is sometimes key. Self-arrangements. Yes. Yes, you need to
Yeah.
do as you said. Okay, Justice says wise words. All right. And we have Creative Mind Agency commented, should a boss be always right just because he is the boss? And moreover, is it right for an employee to point it to his boss when his boss is wrong? This might be
Mm,
a question you
mm,
may, yeah. So what do you have to say about this? Should a boss be always right just because he's the boss? And moreover,
mm.
is it right for an employee to point it to his boss when his boss is wrong? Can you say
So,
something? Yeah.
so a boss, your boss is your boss, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to know that one there's ego at play here,
Mm-hmm.
right? A boss can be wrong. A boss can be wrong. It's all about it's all based on how you navigate it. You
Okay.
don't because your boss is wrong doesn't mean that when everybody is seated, hey, you are wrong. This thing you are saying, this thing is no. You have to be wise about it. You have to be wise about it because
Yeah.
you have to be like I think Becca Owusu mentioned that you have to set boundaries. You understand? You don't just talk anyhow because your boss is wrong. You don't just in front of everybody point out that if your boss is wrong and you feel like maybe your boss did something or maybe your boss is wrong with something, you always find a nice way to communicate it.
Okay.
Otherwise, your boss is not going to take it. That one there, even me, even me, I won't stand somewhere and say that I'm mostly it has nothing to do with it has everything to do with ego. It has nothing to do
Mm-hmm.
with knowing what we did was wrong or right. It has everything to do with the perception you are creating. If I accept you talking to me, you pointing out like maybe the way you said it wasn't right. If I accept it now, it means that subsequently everybody in the team will start addressing me or whenever there's a mistake, he's going to handle it like that. If your boss is wrong, find a nice way. Maybe over there, okay, I agree. When the boss leaves, or you draw near to the boss and say, oh, senior, or boss, I think this thing can be done this way or that way or that. So far as what you're saying is right, I think everybody will listen. We are bosses,
Yeah.
we know. For me, we know. I have colleagues that there are times you draw their attention to this, Charlie. This thing, I think we can do it like this. Let's do it like this. Or Charlie, the way you spoke to the client wasn't nice. And then maybe the person will be able to advise, will be able to tell you, oh, maybe this client, if you don't talk to her like him or her like that, the person doesn't listen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes you have to apply. You know, the fact that your boss is wrong doesn't mean most of
Yeah.
the time. Some of the time they know what they are doing. Some of the time they
Yes.
don't know. But drawing attention in the caucus is also very important. You understand? If your boss is wrong, don't say it in front of everybody. Don't make a spectacle out of it because it is possible they won't take it nicely or lightly. I don't know
Okay.
if I was able to
Yeah.
address.
What you said, I think I get it. Yes. So now we come to my two last questions for you. Okay. Before we bring this conversation to a close. Yes, there are so many issues when it comes to business that we have to discuss, share ideas, and see how best we could also go about it. But we still need to be within the time limit. So my next question to you is that, is there anything that you wish, or any advice that you wish someone had given you that you didn't get? Okay, so let's say, what's one was the one piece of advice that you wish someone had told you when you were just starting out with your own business?
Okay, so I would say for this two pieces of advice
Hmm.
that one of them I received it a lot of time. I just didn't listen, and it has come back to
To
bite
you?
me. It has come back to me. Is make time. Don't overwork yourself. Make time for the things that are important. That's one of the most important advices. Make time for the things that are important, i.e., family. Family is everything. Your business, employees will come and go, clients will come and go. Your family is all that you still have. Your family is all that you have. I personally have an amazing niece. She brings me so much joy. I mean, when I hear her
Wow.
voice, it can make my day. I have an
Wow.
amazing. All she says, Uncle Kofi, and my day is made. You understand?
That's lovely to hear.
Yes. And 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 so make time for the things that are very, very important. Make time. Make time. And the second advice I wish somebody had told me earlier is build a team.
Okay.
Nobody is an island. You can do it, but you can't do it alone.
Hello.
Build a team. The earlier you start looking for people you can trust, the better, right? The earlier you start looking for people you can trust, the better. As it stands now, I have some amazing friends. I mean, they are colleagues, and because I know my strength and I know my weakness. There's this guy. He even sent a comment. Justice Ampofu.
Yeah.
This Justice is exceptional when it comes to editing. When it
Oh,
comes to
great. Just
editing,
wow.
I love how he thinks. So because I know these are his strengths. If I get any job and the job requires like me to go
Yeah, top
or maybe
notch.
yes,
Yeah.
a step higher than I would do, I'll take it to him any day, anytime.
Whoa.
And for that, I'll always give him his flowers for it. He knows it. And
Yeah.
so the earlier you start building a team around you, a team you
Mm.
can trust, a team of people that when you realize somebody's talent, use the person. Yes, but a friend of mine
Bring him on.
hates
Bring him on board. Yeah.
a friend of mine hates that word use. Bring
Yes.
if
Yes.
you find if you say, hey, you are using me, yes, I will use you. I will in fact I can't do it. I will use you, right? But don't go and use anybody, I beg you. Find
Yes.
people who share the same passion or people
Mm-hmm.
who are dying to see you progress, right? There are people who are dying to see who love to see you progress and work with them,
Yeah.
right? Build a team so that you don't have to do everything. Charlie, it will wear you out. It will wear you. Me, I used to have hair, right? I used to have shape, but I have stressed myself so much so that at the point
The
I have to
stress
start doing.
that's
You get, I have to start doing sakura, right?
oh man,
So
yeah.
one of the biggest advice I'll give to people: build a team. Find people who are good at what they do, and work with them. Work with them. If you have to give them some, I mean, the when you're starting, you don't have money, but trust me, you will find people that are willing to support you and are willing to come along the ride. And don't forget that when things are rosy, give them what
Mhm.
they are due.
Yeah. Yeah.
When things are rosy, give them what they are due, right? Just because they have been doing it for free or they have been supporting you for a while and you haven't been giving them. When times are good and you realize that this person needs something and you can help, just help. Sometimes your availability in their life alone is enough payment for them.
Mm-hmm.
When they need you, be there for them. The same way they have been there for you, be there for them. And I think that's basically it. When give your best, give out your best to everybody, and then build a team. That's my one of my biggest advice I can give to anybody else.
Okay, that's great. Before I come to my final question, Justice Ampofo, as you mentioned, commented, "You're always welcome, my brother." You praised him for his exceptional service and skill. Yes, Yaya was also laughing to what you said. Justice again is saying that I did for you anytime, but not every time, because me too, I have to make time for my family. So, so you too, you get family, so he needs to
I'll be,
make
I'll
time
be
for his
coming to,
family.
I'll be coming to his place this weekend. We have
Okay,
wedding.
Justice. Justice, over to you. Fred will be coming over. Yeah, Ikea is laughing, and Gladys says that's lovely. Yeah, the issue with your niece making your
Yeah.
day.
So
Yeah,
Gladys is my sister.
yes. Oh, okay, Gladys. Nice. So family and friends are really supporting you. What you're saying is true, and you are, let's say, exhibiting that we are actually having an experience with what we are saying, that family and friends and all that. So that's great. Yes. Now to my final question. Hmm. What would you say is your secret to success in anything? In your business, in life? What makes you successful, or what is making you successful, or what will make you successful? With respect to you, what is your secret to success?
My secret to success.
Yes.
I won't. I would always say this everywhere I go. The God factor is very, very important. The
Okay.
God factor for me has been like my backbone, has been my pillar. Um, so I happen to be the I'm happen to be the personal videographer for Apostle General. I don't know if I'm sure you might have you've
Oh
heard of
yes,
him.
yes, yes.
Some
Then
kind
you're a
of
big man. You're a big man. Yes.
I'm trying. I beg you, calm down,
As
calm down.
Bernard Abele will say, you're a big man.
So I
Yeah.
happen to be his personal videographer,
Okay.
and the God factor is very, 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 very. I can't stress it enough. Stress it enough. Everybody who knows me knows that Berima, I'm always doing something for God. I'm always doing something in church.
Wow.
I'm always so I also believe in the fact that you are doing it for a friend or somebody who can't afford it
Mm-hmm.
is also a means of doing it for God.
Wait,
Let me say
say
it
that
again.
again. Please say that again. Yeah.
Doing it, doing something for somebody who can't afford it, or doing something for somebody who can't pay you right now,
Mm-hmm.
is a means of doing something for God, because we are all gods in our own way. My mom will always say, that small I thank you, that small thank you, the minister will take you a long way.
Yeah, as Apostle Safo will say that service to mankind is service to God.
Yes, service to mankind.
Yes.
So I mean the God factor, doing it, so seeing it like there are people that have this mindset. They won't do it for their neighbor. If your neighbor is in need, you won't do it for your neighbor, but
Mm-hmm.
you drive all the way and go and do it for a big man, or you'll be doing it in church. You do it for
Yeah.
church, but you won't do it for your neighbor. That is
Mm-hmm.
not that for me it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. Do it for your neighbor. There are people that genuinely need something from you, right? Either they can't afford it now, but be able to afford it later. That is your service. That is a means to do something for God.
Yeah.
That is also a means to do something for God. You know, uh, there are. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how I don't know if what I'm saying is true, but at a point in the Bible, they were taking money from the people who had money in the church to support the
Oh
the
yeah,
poor
it
and the
is true. Yeah,
church.
the disciples, the
Right.
apostles. Yes.
Right. So if you won't be able to give out the money,
Yes.
identifying somebody who has a talent, right,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe rendering your service to the person, but at a cheaper cost, at a cost where the person can afford it, is also a way of doing something to and somebody. I mean, I had somebody tell me this thing once that once you are doing such a thing, be saying a prayer. Say a prayer. God, I'm doing this thing. I'm doing this thing to for this person, right? But share, watch what I'm doing and bless me.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
understand? It is also your means to sacrifice. If I genuinely believe that if everybody will do this, the world will be a better place.
Yeah.
The world will be a better place. So the God factor and taking the God factor, it triggers down to helping your neighbor. I don't know if I've been able to link it well for you to
Mm-hmm.
understand.
Mm-hmm.
You are doing
Mm-hmm.
it for God, but the fact that you are doing it for your neighbor, it is also a means of doing it for God.
Yeah.
You get it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's one of my secrets. Doing it for God. For me, anybody, all my friends know that after the gig, I'm going to church. I am I'm doing something in church. I'm busy in church.
Yeah.
I'm either shooting in church. I'm editing something for church. As it stands now, I have something on my desk. I'm doing for the church, and I feel like that's one of the things. That's one of the things that has kept me.
So those
That's
things
one of
you're
the
doing for church, I'm just curious. Are you doing them for free or at a reduced rate or for the normal charges?
so
Anything at all
so
you're doing for church?
it,
Yeah.
it depends on the project I'm doing. Yes, do
Okay.
it for church. I don't you use your discretion, right?
Someone will say, use your, yeah. Yeah.
Use your head. Use your head, right? If the thing you are doing requires all your time,
Mm-hmm.
definitely. If it take like I recently worked on a project, I did a documentary for the church, right? It
Yeah.
required that it required my time and my services for about three weeks, 3 solid weeks. And for the final week, it was all out. The final week, I
Yeah.
wasn't even sleeping. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And for something like that, my church knows to put something together as sort of like an appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? My church
Yeah.
knows to put together an appreciation for it. And for such a project, I brought other creatives on board. So I had to, for some of them, I had to say, oh, for your TNT, we have to at least for
Yeah.
the four that we are doing there back and forth. But for some of the things that you can you can overlook, little edits, little for me, for my field, for the little um things that I do for them. I don't stake anything. It's out of the abundance of my heart and how much I love to do the things of God. That's why I do it. But sometimes your TNT, the fuel that you drive in and out, I mean, you they some of them they are taking them, but don't let them drain you too much. Because
Mm,
for some churches, they don't know where to draw the line. They will take and take. They even tell you that you just come and give your laptop that is using to edit, come and give it to them as an offering. Yes, there are some churches who will go too extreme, but
to
there are
drain
some
you.
churches to drain you. That's why I said use your head, use your head. You do as much as you can. Do as much as you can. That's basically, I think, the answer to that question. So I mean,
Wow.
so the God factor one, the God factor is very, very important to me. The God factor is one of my secrets, and the other secret is, I think, the the networking bit, and then have the networking bit, build a solid team around you that will edge you, that will keep you going, that would that would you know when you should be when you're in a position, like, be in a position where there are people that when you look at to people and like you can't fail them.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I have so many people in my life If I go and tell them that I want to give up, some of them will even slap me. You are giving up
Yeah.
so that we will do what? You are giving up, you should do what? You understand? Put yourself in that situation where, like, there are people looking up to you, and you just can't give up. You get my point. You just
Yes.
can't give up. You just can't give up. And so the God factor, the network, and your friends, and um, the zeal, your love. Do what you love, and do it with everything that's within you.
That's
Do
great.
what you love.
That's great. Yeah.
What you love. Yeah, I think you're good to go.
Yeah, that's great. So, with the last one you said that, how do you call it? The God factor. Um, use your head, of course,
Network.
the God factor. Yes.
Mm.
Then the other thing you mentioned was, you
Uh,
mentioned three things now. So the God
Networking.
factor, the
The people
networking.
around you.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
And think about the people around you. I did
Yes.
a little motivational audio, and I was saying that, you see, when you're doing anything, ask yourself who is going to benefit, or whose life is going to be better off as a result of me succeeding in this thing.
Right.
Okay.
Perfect.
And just think about these people. So, is it your mother? The thing you are doing, if you are successful, if let's say it is school you are attending, or a business, or a competition, or anything, ask yourself, if I win this, or if I'm successful in this business, my mom's life is going to change. I'll be able to uh, get a new house for my mom, or my children are going to be better off. I'll be able to take better care of my children, my spouse, my wife. Think about these people who are going to benefit as a result of you being successful. And understand that they are dependent on you, they are counting on you. So you can't give up, no matter how tired
Just
you are.
can't give up.
You have to keep
Yes.
pushing. So it is great. It's been so wonderful. Before we bring this conversation to a close, let me read the last set of comments that we have. Yes, so Yaya is saying the God factor. Yes.
Yes.
And
Very.
Justice is also saying, I still haven't met anyone who is dedicated to their church more than Fred. Whoa. It's honestly admirable. I want to be like him when I grow up. So Justice wants to be like you when he grows up. Has so
Uh,
much dedication to the church. Okay. All right. Thank you, Justice. Becca is laughing, happy there. Justice is saying the God factor has always been our number one
yeah.
secret. Community comes next. That is
Yes.
according to
Yes.
Justice.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Ohene Kofi Safo is saying focus, focus. So, guys, it's been wonderful this session. It's been a long one. We were a few minutes late, like 8 minutes late, but it's been quite an insightful conversation. Very
Right.
insightful. I believe that I've picked a lot from what Fred has shared with us. I believe you out there too have picked something very valuable from all of this. Yes. So please, if you weren't able to join us live from the beginning, this is going to we are going to record this. This has been recorded. This session has been recorded. So you can always catch replay. We put it on all our channels and our platforms. So you can always have it. We also break some important portions of this session for you so that you can easily pick up whatever lessons that Fred shared with us. It's been a wonderful 1.5 hours or a bit over, sharing lessons, Fred's story, how he started his business, the mistakes he made, some challenges he came across and how he dealt with them, the advice he thinks that will help every person moving into business, how he manages and motivates his workers, the kind of culture that he is building in his business, and also his secret to success, the God factor, is his number one tool, number one leverage, the God factor. Then followed by that is the networking. Surround yourself with valuable people. As
Yes.
you're getting value from them, you also see how
You
best
do
you're
them.
also going to be of value for those people. Because as John C. Maxwell says, that's touch a heart. I always say this: touch a heart before you ask for a hand. So before you ask what you're going to get from someone, you should present some value. You should be of value to the person. And that is how best we can manage our networks and our relationships. No man is an island. And the last thing Justice said too was that think about the people who are counting on you.
Mm.
So if you have these people in mind, there are certain things you wouldn't do, and there are certain
Yes.
things you would definitely do. And no matter what
Right.
it is, you make sure you never give up in whatever you're doing. So, guys, ladies and gentlemen, friends, family, and friends out there, thank you so much for having time with us this afternoon on Growth Conversations. We've had this conversation with Mr. Fred Yabua, popularly known as Berima,
Mm.
from Berima
Fred AJ.
Shorted. Oh, my
Yeah,
bad. Forgive me. Yes,
so Mr. Frederick
yes.
AJ.
So Frederick Ajay of Matt Black Creative Agency. Yes.
Yeah.
So when it comes to videography, he is one of the best, if not the best, in Ghana currently.
Pressure.
He already
Pressure.
has a lot on his plate, but still, if you need anyone to come shoot your wedding for you, those of you out there who are now preparing to do those nice, glamorous weddings, he is the man for the job. Okay.
Right.
Any corporate events, anything at all, just contact Fred Ajay, okay, or Matt Black Creative Agency, or let's say contact Berima. He will
Very much
do.
short. Very much short.
Yes,
Yeah.
very much on it. He will do the best for you. So thank you so much. On his social media platforms, you said you have more of your stuff on very much short it across the
Yeah.
social media channels, right?
Yes.
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 So that is that. If you can you give or can you leave any contact number so that if anyone wants to reach you in any way, they can easily get you. So that we put it on the screen now. So what number can we?
So it's 055
055
726
726
6425
6425
25.
055 726 6425.
Yes.
Yes, so
Yes. That's
I'm putting the number on the screen now. Yes, so if you want to reach out to Matt Black Creative Agency or Berima Short It, you can contact him on 055 726 6425. 055 726 6425. So once again, thank you all for spending time with us. And thank you too so much, Berima, for having time. We know you have a lot that you have to do, but you accepted this invitation and you've really shared a lot of value with us. We are so grateful and God bless you and all your
me too.
efforts too.
Me
So,
too.
my name is Kwame Brimpong, and this has been the Growth Conversations. If you want to find out more about the Growth Network or you want to join our community. We are now in the preparatory stages. We'll be launching very soon. But if you still want to join us in these early stages, you can just straight away go to www.tgn.africa. TGN as in T as in tomorrow, G as in God or great, then N as in network. So TGN, the growth network dot Africa /membership. You can join our free online community and we learn from each other and see how best we can help each other grow. So thank you so much. Until same time next week, Tuesday, we're going to host another session. May God be with all of us and may God bless us all. Thank you all so much. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.